Okay, blue's up next, and they're locked in this sort of battle against green. I have some options here. I have some attacks I can make, and none of these are bad. I'm probably going to do all of them, even where I'm outnumbered tremendously, because green doesn't have any advantages I know about that can help them. Maybe their event card can. But the question is, what do I do with my primary action? I don't want to do what red did, building a manse. In fact, that kind of makes red a target, in a sense. Now they own something that's worth more. You can capture that and convert it over for only 5 points as a secondary action. But my desires here would be one of two things. One, I could launch a sorcery attack, and I could blast this area, for example. No, that's only one away. Well, I could blast somebody other than green, which isn't too terribly advanced. So what I'm going to do is what I think is the most advantageous thing. I'm going to raise armies, and then I'm going to use my primary action to march into here and take it over with melee. Okay. Well, my event card says I can get 5 coins. I'm going to play that right off. And now, raising troops costs only 3 coins each. So let's see how many I can build. I can only do this in provinces I control. Looks to me like I can get 3 more armies on the board. I only control 1 area. So in they go here. Now this doesn't count as their action. So now, for my primary action, I will march all of them in. I'm trusting red not to attack me. No one else can really reach there easily, except green over here. I've spent all this money, and now I'm going to launch a series of secondary actions attacking in each of these areas, where we'll each get dice equal to the number of units we have. So for example here, I'll get 5 dice to green's 3. Now of course green can throw in some essence and I can throw in essence. Let's see what green's event card is. They may want to defend themselves. Okay, they have one that works only on missile attacks. It causes some additional damage next door. That's not terribly valuable. So for the most part, we're just going to be using our pool of essence to up our chances here. Now, I have a problem that I can only add 2 to any given combat, but then again, green can only add 2 to their defenses. So we're pretty much at even. The question is, do we want to add extra dice? I'll come back after the bunches of rolls and show you what happened. So at the end of that, blue failed to get any additional hits in either of these two. Green spent, well, both blue and green spent here, 2 each. And green also spent to defend these, so they're now kind of low on essence. They lost this entire territory, but this one they managed to avoid any damage, which means they still have these 2 guys. And they could do like a missile attack on this, as an example. That would be their primary action if they do that though, so that might not be so wise. The advantage for them of missile attacks is, oh, they get to spend lots more mana. But the truth of the matter is, unless you have a humongous pool, you usually don't want to spend too much more. And when they're sitting here with 2 versus 2, hey, that seems pretty fair to spend that 2 and make sure your opponent doesn't get an advantage. Blue chose not to do that in these 2 provinces with the thought of, I've got the numbers, and they won out because of it. So I lied when I said I could do an archery attack. I couldn't because I was in with an enemy. So my primary action was to move into here where there was only 1 enemy. Which is pretty much what I would have been thinking. The archery attack could go into there, and then I could move in as a secondary action. Secondary actions, attacks everywhere. Over here and here were successful. Blue spent 2 defense everywhere. Green only spent 2 attack here. Basically the idea being, if you fail your defense, you're going to lose units. If you succeed with your attack, though, that's also advantageous because you might wipe the other person out and get an area which will produce money and mana for you, which is a good thing, right? Okay. on to Black's turn now. Okay, so starting with Black's turn, they started with a secondary action attacking here. White outrolled them by 1 in terms of their armor. Their special effect comes into play here. They're able to drive 1 unit out of this space. Now, if there's no adjacent zone that they can go to, it can go to any dominion or zone on the map that he occupies. If he occupies no others, the forces are destroyed. That would destroy the country. He's going to force this out to sea. Now, this doesn't cost Black anything, and I can throw it anywhere. I'm going to put it down here. That looks like an annoying place. But now there are less Black units because of that armor bonus, and you know, now White has more of a chance of conquering that territory. And White has a nice little pile of goods to spend, and is better anyway. But Black is out of essence to spend. Remember, they bought a charm card, and I don't know what else they used their essence on this attack, but I don't know what else they could have lost essence for. I've done all the secondary actions I want to with Black. They've made their attacks here. They didn't get repulsed. Here they didn't get repulsed, which is kind of odd. They were almost hoping to get repulsed out of here, because if White repulses them, and I think it's a May. Nope. Looks like a must. What I was going to say is, if White repulses him here, it means White doesn't get an attack on him. Would have to do a primary attack to like fire missiles. Black's got one more action though, one primary action. He wanted to take this territory so he could build troops there or something. Though he doesn't seem to have any money either. Oh, that got drained from him, right? Somebody hit him with the 5 gold. With a red hit him. That's where the extra points went. The extra essence. Okay, so he wants to make things less likely for him to lose a piece. Now, he's most likely to lose a piece here. So what I'm going to do is a missile attack here. I get 2 dice. I have no extra pieces for this. White's going to get 3 dice in defense. White doesn't get his benefit except in melee. So he's not going to be able to push those Black missile firers away. But maybe there's some value of some sort to this. I'm not sure what. Yeah, he's not going to spend essence. He's got the advantage. So I'll roll those dice and we'll see what happens. So White's going to do something kind of interesting here. I was having trouble deciding what to do my primary action with White for, because I've got melees all over here, and Black doesn't get anything special off of melee. I started thinking, do I want to build troops? Well, I could only build 1, and that could be useful, but I can see something else here, which is for 1 money, I could turn 2 of these guys into boats. Okay, you're already saying, whoa, you're... And that is their primary action. They did not spend their secondary action, so they still get to attack at 2 to 1 here. Now for a secondary action, I can move this one over here. Building troops is still a secondary action. So you know what? I'm spending 3 more coins. I'm going to build another boat here, and I'm going to become a powerful naval power. This one sailed out with that. Actually, he was built as a legion and then sailed out with that conglomerate. So I've got a lot of boats on the board right now. And now I'm going to conduct battles everywhere where I've got things. Okay, that was kind of a mixed result for him. He won here. He threw in 2 or 3 extra coins in there. I think 2 extra coins to make that attack. And that worked out well. He threw extra coins in here. That did not. This didn't have anything thrown in. Nor did the other one. The other one did succeed. And now we're done with everybody's action phase. We go to the treasury phase. And at this point, you count what people have. So let's take a look at red first. Red has 1, 4, 3, 7, 5, 10, 7-13 because of the manse. 7-15, 7-17. So they're going to get 7 of these yellows. And I think 17 coins. I can't remember what I said. I'll recount everybody and throw their pieces down, and you'll see how much money and produce people have, and we can discuss that a little bit. Then I'll load this one up, because that will be the end of the turn. So as the turn comes to an end, you can see red has quite a pile. We counted that up. Huge amounts. No one else has the kind of coinage that red does. Others have gotten a decent amount of essence. Not poor black. They're kind of screwed. They're only collecting 2 points of essence and 4 coins for the turn. And they're in 4 areas, so the coins are going to get eaten up. They're really weakened by this turn. White's not in bad shape comparatively. And in terms of total naval strength, white's kind of powerful. Remember, navy's one of the potential victories. So at this point, everybody's kind of reassessing the positions. You know, green and blue, how do they feel about their situation? Blue can't really win here, but they can probably take back that green territory if that's the focus of their decision. On the other hand, does that mean they're letting red run away with the game? And that's the kind of decision that this game is constantly going to be on this flux, the balance of power issue. Do you go after the guy who's in the lead always? Or do you pursue, you know, your personal vendettas and stuff along those lines? All right, I'm going to load this one up, and that is the end of the first turn. Red will be going first on the second turn as well, as he has the most total territories just under his control. All right, up it goes.